sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk outdoors for the next 90 minutes on Outdoors with Larry Ray as we roll into our 17th year. And
What's a minute?
What's a minute? That's a minute. You heard that voice right there. Well, we're going to kick it right off.
Daryl and Daryl show.
Yeah, Dave Gabbert, throw away that format.
Okay.
This is your life, Dave Gabbert.
Oh, okay.
All right.
None of those guys. This is nothing we're doing. This is all saluting my man here for his service. You just pitch that out of the way. You don't know who's going to be calling today.
Well, that's
you're stumbling. You're stumbling.
I'm soon to be the ex-minister of
we
propaganda.
know that,
yeah.
and in that
end of this month.
And so, Outdoors with Larry Ray is.
But the burning
would you
question.
Be quiet?
The burning question
yes.
is: did you see your shadow yesterday?
No, we're not even talking about that. You're getting off the subject here. This is really a show I wanted to put together.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate you, brother, what you've done for Outdoors with Larry Ray, and I know the TWRA appreciates your efforts in 30, how many years?
34 and a half.
34 and a half.
They're going to hire 6 men to take his place.
No, they're going to hire 4 women and 2 men. That's what it is. But let's start it off now. Let's talk to, we got Doug on there. We got Lacey on there. Lacey?
I'm on here.
Lacey Lane.
Oh, Lord.
You're kicking us off right here.
I hear voices from the past.
All right.
Dave,
Start with the best.
That's right. Dave Gabbert is stunned here. He's looking at his format. It doesn't say anything about what it says right here. So throw it away, Dave.
Well, it's all I could do not to say anything the other day when we had lunch.
Yeah. It says something about chronic wasting disease. Wasting what?
You can throw that. Tell us, Lacey, about Dave and the friendship you've developed with him. What makes him special?
Well, I grew up in the shooting sports, and Mr. Dave's been there since day one. And I've watched him and Miss Rand shoot, and just grew up, around Mr. Dave. And he taught me how to shoot, and then he took me to play golf one time, and he realized real quick that wasn't for me. So we stuck to shooting. I about killed him on the golf course.
She's the only girl I knew that can shank 190 degrees.
Oh, well, you know
That's right, I did it.
You know some men that have done that. But,
Yeah.
But I know, Lacey, tell our audience out there what you do.
Hey, what was that?
Well, what is your capacity for my listeners out there?
I run the pistol and rifle program for the state, and I grew up in the SCTP program with the agency with Mr. Dave and Lance Ryder and all those guys.
Well, I know that Dave loves to shoot, not only with a pistol but his mouth sometimes, I think. So knowing him, and when you put all that combination together, we got Dougie on the line too.
Oh,
Dave.
okay. Well, good.
Hey, Doug.
Hello there.
Hey, buddy.
Hey there.
How
How
about
y'all doing?
How are we going to do without Gabbert?
it's going to be a whole lot of hurt people out there, thousands and thousands and thousands of people that he's taught how to shoot across this state and a lot of other stuff.
I was in Nashville.
Well, let him talk.
Okay, well, I was going to tell you the thing. I was in Nashville the other day, and me and Doug was talking.
Yeah.
And when I put him on retirement paperwork in 2 days after they advertised the job,
Yeah.
I told Doug, I said, I didn't know this job was that important, or you're trying to get rid of me before I change my mind.
It's that important.
It is. And, Doug, I know as a former region person like what Dave does now, and now you're in the communications big guy over there, Dave has been one of these guys that can relate with people, but also from your standpoint, he's not afraid to speak what he thinks, right?
Amen.
Yeah.
No, Dave would tell you what's on his mind, for sure, and that's a good thing to have. And the thing I think about Dave the most is you'll never know how many people, how many kids and others that he's influenced in his life, because he does it all the time. He's done it for years, and he never brags about it. He'll talk about what he does, but the one thing he will tell you in his blunt way is that he thinks the best way to get people involved in the outdoors is to put a fishing rod in their hands or a gun in their hands, and that's the best way to do it. And he's done it thousands of times.
Yes, he has.
Yes, he has, and Lacey, you will say that too. I know.
That I will attest to that. That is true.
But because this man, he loves the shooting sports, right, Dave? Now tell our listeners out there, you do competition shooting and
yeah,
things like
I on the trap side, and to toot my horn a little bit, I've been state champ in my division.
Toot your horn.
Times.
Today's
He's
the
a
day
really
to-
good shot.
Back when I was in commissioned officer, we used to compete in the Tennessee Police and Fire Games.
Yes.
I have 13 gold medals,
You have 13 gold medals.
5 silvers, and 1 bronze.
All
Wow.
right.
See, but you would never know it, though.
No, because he
Dave
only
never talks about that stuff, and
No.
he'll mesmerize you with all his knowledge and the guns. You can just there and listen to Dave talk a lot about what he knows. And
Well, I
he's
didn't.
shared that a whole bunch through the years.
I had no idea why he always wears these 12 necklaces around his when he comes to the radio show here. And
He just hides them when he comes in.
The only good thing about shooting
what?
is shooting with somebody else ammunition, not having anybody.
Amen. Yeah.
Only you would say that because you do reload, don't you?
Oh, yes.
And so
Yes,
that's,
and he can reload some good ammo.
he can. Have you used that before?
I have. That's one of my favorite loads to shoot, Mr. Dave loads.
And Lacey, I know the shoot of the Scholastic, all these kids events and things along that line. You're in an area that's really booming, thanks to guys I think like Dave Gabbard here.
That's exactly right. Thanks to our TWRA and our outreach programs, it's really growing our youth shooting sport.
Yeah, and Dave, where'd you pick up that shooting thing? Not in high school at Fraser, I don't think so.
No, I've been shooting since I was 6 years old. I come from a long line of shooters.
Do you really?
Yeah.
So,
And when we would have a family get together,
yeah,
like at a relative's house, it didn't take less than an hour before the 22 rifles
came out.
broke out, and we was trying to drive nails to a stick of firewood and all that other stuff.
A lot of people don't know Dave's dad, who passed away a year or so ago.
He passed away last September.
And how old was he?
101.
101. Did you ever see him shoot?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't what you were into it.
No,
And why did you get involved?
Just something to do.
Something to do.
I enjoyed it.
And you still do.
Yeah.
And you take trips, and you've been to the big place and things.
I've had my, as Andy Warhol said, I've had my 15 minutes of fame.
I think he has, and this is Dave Gabbard's day here. He is the Region 1.
Does this mean I get to take a love offering up?
Can you be quiet for just a minute here?
I get paid to talk.
No. He is our Region 1 information officer, and Doug, we know him over here as the Minister of Propaganda for Region 1, but from the office there in Nashville, and I know Doug, as I said, was for a long time there, Region 2. Information officer and things along that line, and now we've moved into a new age for Doug. And folks, I'm really telling you, you go to the tnwildlife.org and look at some of the things that podcast and all these different kind of things. Dave is like me. I'm from the old school, and I'm not aging you, Dave, because you're not near as old as I am. But you've been able to adjust to a lot of things when you were wildlife officer first in Henderson County or wherever you were.
Yeah, Henderson County.
And to see where it's come now. Talk a little bit about the changes, and Doug can go into this, things they do now.
Oh, yeah. Well, Doug can probably identify back in the days when we did news releases.
Yeah.
And they were mailed out.
Yeah.
I first started, he had to type them.
Yeah. Right, Doug? I remember those.
That's correct.
And then I handed them to Deborah Alexander, one of the secretaries that shared the duties.
Yeah.
She would kind of proof it, and then she would have to run it off on a stencil for one of these old mimeograph machines with a drum.
And it was yellow paper, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was yellow.
Yeah.
Why was yellow? I don't know why it was yellow, but it was old.
That's so you could see it when it went in the trash can, I guess.
Does he not say what he feels like, Doug?
But, of course, she had to run all those off at the copier once she typed, or, made the original one.
Uh-huh. And these for all 4 regions.
And then, each region had to do this.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
And, I inherited like a mailing list from Jed.
From Jed.
Come on down. He had like 250 addresses on there.
Uh-huh. And a Rolodex.
Yeah. And so then she would have to stamp the envelopes and, get the postage and then mail it all out. And it was...
Well, postage was only 10 cents back in those days, Dave. It's been that long, But look at it now, Doug. You guys now... the communication age, people like Dave and other ones that have been around for a while played an important part in the progress of even communications, right?
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean the information education has been a lot of communicating with the public through press releases and talking to press and all that, but it's also been a whole lot of outreach. And,
dog and pony shows.
That's developed and evolved through the years. It's gone from a free fishing day here or there to all these shoots that we're involved in with wounded warriors and with youngsters and with duck hunts that Dave's probably getting ready to go on. And just it's evolved itself. You don't have the technology in it unless you call the advance of all these great guns.
Yeah, that's right.
That's your technology.
But you know what the best innovation of technology is?
What? You keep interrupting, but go ahead.
Spell check.
Spell check. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can imagine Jed would spell check, or maybe Henry Reynolds would spell check and things along that line. But we're talking to Doug Markham out of the region, head region office over there.
It's out of Nashville.
High on the hill.
High on the hill, and I can't even remember what's your title now, Doug?
It's communications manager.
That's what I thought. But go to
I think you said that.
Yeah, I did, and but I'd forgotten it since I said it earlier. But
that's 2 or 3 minutes ago. Yeah,
no, that was. That's right, Doug. I can say some things about you too, Doug. So let's you wait your turn. But I know that. Thank you, Lacey, and thank you, Doug. This kind of kicks it off, folks, because we got a lot of folks coming on this show that is going to surprise Dave. Some of them he'll probably know, but a lot of them he won't think will be on. But thank you, guys and gals. Thank you for being on part of this show, and appreciate you. And we're going to take our first break, and y'all be easy on Gabbard in retirement, okay?
Larry, I'm trying to talk him into staying on the show.
Oh,
working on him. He can stay on the show.
Well, it's a long bike ride down here now. He doesn't have his, mileage anymore or anything like that. I'll have to start paying him now. So thank y'all. We'll talk to you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Be right back.